Okay. Back with another one. Back again this week. First off, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving weekend, whether you celebrate it or not, or just have a happy holiday in general with so much going on throughout the weekend. Whether it be a Black Friday or Cyber Monday tomorrow, whatever you celebrate, I hope everybody had a safe and happy holiday out there this very long weekend. But let's get into this show. Survivor Series once again. War Games. They need Rigo back to be saying that, by the way. But yes, War Games. We're back again with it. In Canada, Vancouver, BC, if I'm not mistaken. Right, not Toronto. I don't know why I was about to say Toronto. It gets kind of common when Toronto comes up. So, ooh, yeah, Toronto. Who gives a crap? A little joke right there. I think you know where that's from. But yeah, Survivor Series, Vancouver, British Columbia, War Games, folks. So first off, let my co-hosts introduce themselves today.
Oh yes, man. My name Straight Face 40. Man, that was a nice little show, man. I wouldn't say top to bottom, but it was a nice show, man.
It
But
was good.
it was good. I just take the first match out of it. Everything after the first match was good. Um, and but yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Looking at this match, well, not the match itself, but I'm just talking about the whole pay-per-view. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed most of everything, and we're gonna get into it. But let's actually start off with the first match since we're kicking right off with the women's War Games match. Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, Naomi, and Bailey versus Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. And looking at this match going into it, I don't know. I feel like it wasn't a lot of story going into this match. I do feel like everybody had some type of beef with each other, but I think we talked about this before. When it comes to the women's War Games match. And I think we said, like, were they doing this because it was meaning something, or are you just doing this just so we can get a War Games match out of this? Because I think I may have spoke about this even last year in the last War Games match when I talked about equality versus equity and wonder if there's meaning to this, or are we just doing this just to put everybody on some type of even level playing field? Now, yes, you do have a lot of top names in this match. Obviously, both women's champions. Well, one half of the tag team champions. Then again, Bianca's in her own league. Let's be honest. Out of everybody here, you have Rhea, you got the number one contender, Io, you have the Money in the Bank winner, Tiffany Stratton. So you got a lot of notable people that got some type of beef going on. But for this match, though, yeah, this was not it. Okay, because I'm gonna be honest, and I think we spoke about this before when it comes to War Games matches. Until everybody is in the ring, that's when it's gonna matter. But there was a lot of sloppiness in this match. Like, this was very botch-tastic, and I'm not gonna go through every spot in here, but I just want to say that Nia Jax was damn near botching damn near almost everything, and she was the first one in this match with Bailey. And one thing I noticed throughout this whole match is that everybody damn near had their own customized weapon getting in this match. Because what Naomi came in with a kendo stick, or I should say a glow stick, if you want to say, since it looked like the damn kendo stick was lighting up, and even had a toilet seat. And I'm like, well, why do we have a toilet seat in this match? Was she in? I'm just putting the toilet seat over Jax's head and doing like a stink face. I'm sure a lot of people would like to be in that position for obvious reasons, but yeah, just like looking at this match, and I'm trying to at least kind of call for everybody that came through one by one, but it looked like everybody that came out had a weapon because Candace was next, and for like Team Jax, I don't know who was the leader of these teams, by the way, but yeah, she was able to get in the match. Then I did like I would say the big spots in this match were pretty good. Like the whole bridge with the chairs and Candace doing a moonsault on it. That was actually pretty good, but it didn't look like, she hit the chairs all the way, but it was still a cool move though. But Bianca was in after that. She's got a fire extinguisher and even getting a table into the match. Then Tiffany is out there. One thing to point out this match, and I gotta ask you this question. Please tell me you saw those slow ass chair shots by Nia Jax.
Yeah,
And
horrible chair shot. Horrible.
yeah, that was bad. That was so, like I said, I felt like she was the one that was botching damn near everything in this match. Some said Bailey was calling out spots throughout the match, like really loud. If you kind of go
Yeah,
back and
people
look at
was
it,
saying that. Yeah.
yeah, because she was like, "Move, go over there." Like you could clearly hear her like calling spots within the ring, like I guess trying to tell people to get in whatever position and whatnot. But you could clearly hear it. You got EO in there, which at this point, when it comes to EO and War Games matches, you're just gonna get her jumping off the cage with a trash can, and they gave her a trash can that had like Joker colors on for some reason with purple on it. So at this point, every time EO's in a War Games match, expect her just to jump on top of the cage with the trash can on her head. That's just common at this point. But yeah, she ended up getting into the match then, even kind of botching, I guess, the sunset bomb she was supposed to do on Candace, like off the cage, but didn't really kind of connect all the way. After that, they had Raquel in the match. The fifth person, Rhea was in there and started taking everybody out. Liv was next, but she didn't really want to get in the ring. She basically kind of came back with a baseball bat um, within the ring. One other thing I'll say is that Rhea's mask, and everybody says she kind of looks like Batman. Well, maybe not this mask. This is like a mask with like kind of horns on it and whatnot, but it's still a pretty good mask though. But honestly, this is where the match actually began now, because damn near after 30 minutes, that's where now this match is actually supposed to matter. And like I said before, you had a lot of cool spots in here, but some would say it's also kind of choreographed at the same time. One thing I guess it's probably one of the biggest spots in this match was EO's on top of the cage. Tiffany's on top of the cage, and EO does the trash can thing, but you can clearly see Tiffany looking over, almost like they kind of had to try to time it right at the same time so they could both jump off the cage, at the same time and land on everybody, because Tiffany did a swanton, and like I said, EO did the moonsault with the trash can. Then after that, I will say this too. I guess you could say one of the biggest, somewhat storyline plots in here was Tiffany like having a trash can in there and then pulling stuff out for a weapon, but then she ended up pulling out her money in the bank briefcase. Basically, now kind of debating, who do I cash it in on? Do I cash on Liv or do I cash it on Naya? And next, EO just comes out of nowhere with a fire extinguisher, spraying everybody. And then Raquel's end up handcuffed somehow to the like to the rope, so she can't get out. Um, what Nia Jackson comes back trying to like take out everybody, even putting Bianca on a table, and like she was gonna hit her annihilator move, but Naomi and like I said, Naomi and Bianca and power bombing her through the table. One other thing too, I guess it was Naomi's birthday yesterday, so I was wondering why the fans was chanting "Happy Birthday." At first, I was wondering what she had a cone on her head. At first, I'm like, why does she have a cone on her head? And then, okay, all right, it's a party, half a birthday then. So then I kind of understood it after that. But right after that, what Bianca, because what Liv started hitting everybody with the baseball bat, which it's kind of funny with the baseball bat, and it's a metal bat. They said if this was legit, somebody would damn near be dead or damn near injured by hitting everybody in the gut or the back with a baseball bat. Bianca ended up taking that bat away from her then and just start trying to chase her with a chair, but Raquel ended up hitting a kick onto Bianca with the chair. It's supposed to hit her in the face. So I kind of understood what they were going there. But then they had another table in the ring. Um, Ripley was trying to set up for a finisher. Then after that, Raquel still tried to help. Liv's just trying to hit her code breakers from out of nowhere, and then they like climb the cage. And Liv wanted to do her Oblivion move onto Ripley, to go through the table, but Ripley ended up countering with a Riptide, put her through the table, and won the War Games match. Like I said before, I feel like until everybody got in the ring, that's when it kind of got better. But through a lot of early parts of this whole match, I thought it was a lot of botches and it was just really sloppy out there. And it still kind of makes you question, like, did this need to be a War Games match? Or did you just need, or did they just do it just because? Because some would say it wasn't a lot of story elements out of it, other than maybe a few people. But it's like I said before, it's just a lot of bigger names and the champions involved in this match.
Oh, yeah. I really wasn't feeling this match at all. And I'm not gonna even lie to you. I had tweeted this morning, and I was like, yeah, the match started out. The match started out clunky, and then it ended boring for me. It wasn't really. It didn't even step up. Like, yeah, you can say all those moves and stuff. I'm expecting those type of stuff for a war game, you know? And it'd be different if I were watching a regular match and then all of a sudden these people just jump off the Titanatron and did some crazy stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. But I'm expecting crazy stunts coming off this match because I'm expecting it watching a War Games match. Nia Jax, I don't know, man. She get the the MVP of just messing things up this match. This was just all horrible Nia Jax. I didn't understand what was going on. In that first part of the match, I don't know if you noticed the first part of the match, her and Bailey couldn't even really connect. I'm like, well, what y'all can't even connect with a Irish whip. What is going on with y'all, man? And that's what I knew. I kind of blanked out after that. And then everybody, people were coming in and stuff, and then the weapons and all that stuff. I just feel like sometimes you don't need weapons. A lot of them, not even if you want some weapons, I say bring a few. But with both war games matches, like sometimes you really don't need all these weapons. You are already in this, two-sided cage here. It's already looking devastating. But yeah, back to the women's match. The women's match, it's like it kind of picked up for me once. Like I say, Rhea came in. Rhea picked it up for me. Then I guess they were bringing it home. With the swanton bomb and a trash can moonsault. Like I just feel like we seen it once. I don't think we need to see it constantly. I don't think. Oh man, yeah, EO Sky, she gonna do the over the move song with the trash can. Like I seen it before. I don't need to see it again. You know, and it just really wasn't for me. I just really this was my my pick for the worst match of the night. To be honest with you, because it just didn't click, man. It's too choreographed, like you were saying. Everything was just I don't know. I don't know. I just really wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, and once again, like I said, until everybody's in the ring, that's only where it's really gonna matter. And I'm not really surprised, Bianca and Ripley and them won. Given that when you really think about it, that team is kind of low key OP, given who they going against. And Nia Jax's case, I'm just waiting for somebody to beat her for the title. I'm sure Tiffany is either gonna cash in at this point, but I said it before, if Bianca's back to being a singles competitor again, let her be the one to beat Nia for the title. Just this is even I said this has kind of gone on long enough. It has, but I think she was probably the most botched person out there in this whole match. Like it was just so much stuff from her that was really, really bad. And I've talked good about Nia in recent times, but no, this was bad. Like no, the fridge it wasn't it for her this night. It was not it for her. But like I said, the match was the match. As for the weapons part, one thing I think me and Steven said this about war games matches. Do I feel like now I like war games to some extent, but I do feel like it should either be an elimination in this match, or maybe we need to go back to the 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination matches. I have one at least because I like war games, but I think we talked about this with many war games matches. It's like it's not gonna matter to everybody who gets in. Some say they need to kind of go back to how WCW did it and have the roof in the cage, or do we even need the weapons? I know it's a lot of other companies that do war games like matches also. Would it be AEW with the Blood and Guts or TNA with Lethal Lockdown and whatnot? Because I know a lot of people said before especially with WWE, and we'll get to the next War Games match later on, the lack of blood, especially if you're in a match called War Games. And I know it's damn near a street fight with everybody getting weapons involved, but if it's going to be this crazy, chaotic war, some would believe that, maybe somebody would bleed. I'll give AEW credit for that. At least we do see people bleed in that, no matter how ridiculous it can get sometimes, it fits the concept of the match. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, just look at this match. It is what it is, but it just I felt it was just really sloppy at the beginning, and it got a little bit better later on. So yeah, the big spots were good, but a lot of it was still bad. So I'm assuming Rhea will get another shot at Liv now for the title soon since she pinned the champion.
Yeah, yeah. I really expected Liv Morgan title reign to end soon anyway. I see Rhea is ready to go back. She cool. So I think her title reign is coming up soon. But yeah, it just like my thoughts about like war games. Period. Like I think Draper kind of put it on the money earlier. It's like it beginning to be boring now, especially having two. It's like it's really nonsensical. For real, it was nonsense for real. And just to put it bluntly, I'm not even trying to hold anything back. It was nonsense to have two, and especially with the women. I don't understand why we needed to have two. We just needed to have one. And that's it. And to be honest with you, I don't even want to see another War Games match next year. Real talk.
Would you like to see the 5-on-5, Survivor
Yeah,
Series teams matches?
yeah,
Because I do miss that, and those matches were entertaining. Like, there's a lot of good
really
Survivor
entertaining.
Series matches that we see in the past that 2016 is still one of my favorite ones. But you know, um, I would like to see that back again. I was cool with War Games back being in first, but now it's kind of like you can kind of play this out in your head of how this is all gonna go. And we talked about it last year. We talked about it the year before. We know it kind of gets a little bit boring until everybody's in, and then the real stuff happens. So yeah, I would like to see the Survivor Series matches back together. A lot of people said this should have just been a 5-on-5 Survivor Series tag team match. Like I've heard some people say that, but it's like I said earlier with equality and equity. Like I said, it's almost like, are you doing this match because it's a big meaning to it and it fits the concept and the story fits in War Games? Or are you just doing it because, hey, we got to give the women a War Games match too, just because? So, even playing field.
Yeah, yeah. But on top of that, by you, by you doing that, guess what happens? It ends up being a bad match. And I was just sorry. You should have just, like you said, we should have just had a 5-on-5 because it ended up being a bad match.
Yeah, it was a rough one to get through. I thought it was pretty rough, but yeah, I would have liked if they just kind of bring back the 5-on-5 Survivor Series traditional tag team match elimination thing again. So maybe they will, but I think it's probably just gonna be another War Games again by next year anyway. So I think we already know what's gonna happen because, like you said, this was just either just botchy or sometimes this match was damn near moving in slow motion a few times. So it is what it is, but yeah, that's the War Games match, folks. So we got another one headed up later on. But let's move on. Next, U.S. title on the line. Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight. And honestly, I can't say I'm too surprised by the outcome of this. Now, yes, Shinsuke Nakamura just got back. And he's only been back for like what, 2 weeks, and can somehow get a pay-per-view match this fast. Now, obviously, he has another new gimmick, which is somewhat kind of the same of him being all dark with the subtitle promos, but obviously they put a lot more into the presentation and him trying to be this new dark gimmick and whatnot. Because we already seen him do dark the last time he was around, and then he kept losing damn near every match to either Cody or Seth Rollins, and remember he kept talking about Seth Rollins' broken back and couldn't beat him, but now he's got some new music, which is kind of like a acoustic drum like beat. To his new music. So I actually think that sounds pretty cool. I'll give Def Rebel a little bit of credit for this theme song. This one's actually pretty good because mostly everything they make is just trash all the time. Um, but he's got a new entrance. He's got a new gear. He looks like he got a samurai like helmet on. It looked like his eyes are bleeding and all that. So like I said, the presentation looks pretty cool. It's just now the booking of Nakamura. Is that really gonna go somewhere? But the match itself with him and LA Knight, yeah, LA Knight is still over, of course. But I don't know, man. I just feel like LA Knight was gonna lose here just because Nakamura came back. And I know people questioned LA Knight's title reign for a while about him not having a lot of opponents going for the title, or just he's still over. I'm not gonna sit and say he's not over, but some say he hasn't been all that ever since he's been the U.S. champion. It's funny to me about this match. It's like, well, damn, if Nakamura can just come back that easily and win the title, then what the hell was Melo and Andrade? It's like, damn, they did all that and they couldn't beat LA Knight, but Nakamura literally just got back and just won. And he ended up winning by what, dropping LA Knight onto like the steel plate, like a Scorpion Death drop to like, because it's two rings, so it's a steel part in the middle of it. And then he ended up hitting the Kinshasa after gouging LA Knight's eyes and winning the title. So I feel like Nakamura won this because they want to try to get this new gimmick over with him. Maybe will work. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. So I say it's a step in the right direction for Nakamura because Nakamura's booking has been it's been pretty bad for a long time now in WWE. So we'll see what happens. Maybe LA Knight will probably get a rematch by Saturday night's main event or something, or maybe he'll go for the world title. I don't know. Like the match, it wasn't a bad match. Anything. It's just I feel like I just knew the outcome, what it was going to be, and I was actually surprised it made the card. Honestly, I'm actually surprised it made it.
Um, to be honest with you, I was surprised they made the card too. But I'm kind of looking at the bill for both of the mid card title matches that we had tonight, and this was actually for the little time that they had to build it. They actually built it a lot better than that triple threat match that we're going to talk about after this. Actually, that was a mega too, but we'll talk about that later. But this was a decent match. To be honest with you, I was kind of opposite for you. I did not think that Nakamura was gonna walk out. I thought they were gonna treat Nakamura like they always treat Nakamura. Like okay, you could be a good guy for. I mean, you could be a good person for a good match, but that's about it. You ain't gonna win no titles now. That's how I think they always treat Nakamura. He win titles here and there, but they don't really mean anything. You know, they just look back at his two title reigns with the U.S. Championship. Look at his title reign with the Intercontinental Championship. It's not good. It's not good at all. So that's what I thought they were gonna do. I thought they were gonna use him to boost up L.A. But I could see. I had put it on. I had tweeted that too. I was like, I could see them going to the Saturday night main event, which is on the 14th. So I can see them having another match there. They probably having a trilogy. He probably lose there, and with some shenanigans. Then LA can regain it on their third try. You know, on his third try. I can see that. And I can see they'll have a little trilogy match. This was the first of the trilogy. You know, yeah, LA Knight is over. Shinsuke could be over as a heel by doing little dirty things to LA, who's one of the most over faces in the company right now. So it was a decent match. I wouldn't say it was a bar burner or anything like that, but it was okay. It served its purpose. It definitely did. It served the purpose of starting a new feud with LA because everybody been wanted LA to have a feud, for the title. And the title reign, I really don't think that title reign was like BS because on the simple fact that it was his fault. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was to the point of who you gonna throw at him? Andrade, all right. Melo, all right. It wasn't really too many mid card guys. That's why I say,
Santos for the
you
millionth
know,
time.
yeah, anytime, like, come on, man. It ain't too many, mid card guys that's still there that I could say, like, man, that would be a great feud. But now they enter a feud. I mean, now he enters a feud that he not the champion right now, but he's still around the championship title reign. So I mean, championship title picture. Man, it was okay for what it did, but it's a nice little surprise. You know.
Yeah, like I said, it was. I felt like the outcome was coming, so obviously they can continue this. But like I said, I think they really want to try to get Nakamura's new gimmick over. So we'll see where it goes. But I do believe it will be a rematch probably by Saturday night's main event. And like I said, it served its purpose what it was going to be out there. Because like I said, I didn't think this was going to make the card. Given that, like wow, this build has only had like what 2 weeks really. Like, like that's all it's really been. It's not like they've had like a month long build throughout this whole match. Some people already kind of sit there and wonder, like, man, they could have put Cody and KO on this show if they really wanted to, but obviously they waiting for Saturday night's main event to do that. But like I said, the match, it was what it was. It wasn't a bad match, anything, and Nakamura won the title. So we'll see where it goes when it comes to booking, because like I said, we've seen the Dark Nakamura shit before, and he never really wins. Okay, so we'll see if it's anything different. So, like I said, I like the presentation. It's just gonna matter what the booking is gonna be next after that. But moving on now, next triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship: Braun Breaker, Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser. And in my opinion, so far into the show, I thought this was the best match of the night at this point in time. This was great. I definitely enjoyed this. Like just three brawlers out there that just went out there and kicked the living hell out of each other. Basically, this was great. I enjoyed this match. Just from I said like when Kaiser had the chair, tried to wedge it into the ropes, and then both Breaker and Sheamus just looked at him and then just start beating the hell out of him, or even just flying out of the ring. Breaker just jumping off the damn announce table, crashing into Kaiser was pretty crazy. Yeah, it was a lot of good stuff in this match. Like the crowd was with this. They were really with this match. Then they're going over the barricade at one point. Um, Sheamus doing the 10 beats of the Bower onto a breaker after that. Kaiser using the shillelagh in the match, trying to hit Sheamus win it. Yeah, hit Sheamus with it, but Sheamus, able to get the Celtic cross back on Breaker in the ring, and he ended up hitting like a bro kick on him. But Kaiser ended up messing up the pinfall by pulling the referee's leg out. Sheamus went back after Kaiser did and just start beating him with the shillelagh. Then after that, trying to get him back into the ring, he was setting up the bro kick, but still selling the injured ribs out there. But Kaiser put him down. Breaker just ended up hit him with a spear from out of nowhere there on the Kaiser, and then he set up Sheamus for the spear and won the match. So, I never thought Breaker was ever going to lose the Intercontinental title here, anyways. But this was great. I will say, I didn't really expect Sheamus to take the fall here. Obviously, I know they've been having a feud with Sheamus and Breaker, because Sheamus saying that the Intercontinental title is the one title that's eluded him throughout his entire WWE career. So he's still going after that. And yes, this was a triple threat match. So I know some are gonna say it wasn't a 1-on-1. I thought Kaiser was honestly gonna take the fall. That's what I thought what was gonna happen. But yeah, Sheamus ended up taking the fall here, and Breaker ended up retaining the Intercontinental title. So in my opinion, I thought this was the best match of the show so far at this point.
Yeah, I would say I would go a little further because even though I love the main event, but like I would explain it to you about how I feel about war games. I kind of put this among in the number one spot because I feel like I was done with war games and I wanted to see something different, and this was different. It was a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Hard hitted, everybody was going in. We had our little silly spots. The little spot with the Luke with you like you were talking about with Luke with try to set up the chair. They go sneak up behind them, and stood there like man, that was a little funny little spot. Sheamus coming out of nowhere, hit the 10 feet all over the barricade. That was funny. Um, yeah, man, it was a great match, man. I was just smiling all the way through, man. It was just man, a fun match to watch. Braun Breaker is going to be a star. It's just, oh my God, I can't wait till they send him to the main event picture. He is going to be something else, and he's amazed me every time I watch that boy. Luke Wick going to be a nice star too. Man, he really showed his chops. He showed his chops so in this match right here. He really put it down. and I really was, digging him in this match. He gonna be a nice heel, very nice heel. And Sheamus is just Sheamus, man. He Hall of Famer, bona fide, no doubt about it. You know, he just trying to put some more notches under his before, whatever. But he wants the Intercontinental Championship. All right, then he ain't never had it. He gonna win it one of these days. Sheamus is just Sheamus, man. That's all I gotta say. And these three guys put up a really good match tonight. They really sold the show a little bit before the Men War game because the Men War game was gonna sell the show, period. But it put everybody on notice, like, oh, whoa, wow, okay. I guess the mid card scene can look good, and they need to do it on both shows. So the mid card scene needs to look good on both shows. But yeah, it was a good match.
No, yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Like I say, it was different from mostly everything else throughout the whole night, especially the War Games match. You was gonna get a crazy smash mouth, hard hitting style out here with all three of these guys. So I definitely enjoyed it. There was no question that Breaker was gonna still retain the championship, as predicted and whatnot. But hell of a match though. Definitely one of the best. Like I said, I thought this was like the best match of the night. Like this was great. So definitely enjoyed it. One thing I will say, going on to the next match, and I know the War Pig song was playing with Black Sabbath. I didn't know T-Pain made his own version of it. Did you know that?
No, no, no.
Yeah, because they were talking about that throughout the night, like playing the War Games, the War Pig song, and I guess they were playing two versions of it throughout the whole night until like they kind of mentioned it. I'm like, wait, T-Pain made his own version of it?
Hmm.
Like I have to sit and actually listen to it when I get the chance, but like yeah, they were playing his version on the show.
Yeah, yeah. I need to listen to that.
Yeah, 'cause I was like, wait, T-Pain did his own version? That's when they saw it, I didn't really believe it at first. I'm like, huh, I didn't know he made his own version of the song. Like, I have to listen to it when I get the chance. So, yeah, just like check that out. Just kind of want to note that for a second. I thought it was quite interesting. But next, Gunther versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. Honestly, this was a good match. I felt like it started a bit slow at first, but it got better on later on. Cause I know they were talking about like what the shoulder injury with Priest. Because going into this whole storyline of this match, basically Gunther has been kind of questioning himself ever since he lost to Cody back at Crown Jewel, and Priest has just been grilling him through several weeks now, saying like, "You ain't the same Gunther, man. Like you not the same guy. What's wrong? You can't say nothing. You lost one match. You don't know if you can do it, can you?" And he's just like Gunther, just kind of just self doubting himself. Can he even really beat Priest this time? Because SummerSlam, Finn got involved, which well then again it happened again. But he said, "Can you do it 1-on-1? Can you beat me on your own?" And like I said, I liked the match. It was a good match, and they tried to tell more of a story with the like I said with Priest's shoulder and whatnot. But I was cool with this match until they brought Finn in. I felt bringing Finn in was just kind of like, we doing this again? I thought we were past this. Like, so we're still going with the story of Finn versus Priest, huh? And when you really look at it, Gunther still couldn't beat Priest on his own clean. Because, yes, there was a shoulder injury, but yeah, Finn got back involved, hits his coup de grace off the steel steps. And then, Gunther ended up taking out Finn then after that. But then he threw Priest back in the ring, hit him with a power bomb, and then start elbow striking Priest and put him in a submission hold, which Priest never tapped out. He passed out. But like I said, it was a good match. Like took a minute to get into it, and they had some good timing out there. I liked it. It's just I felt like I really didn't need to see Finn back in this. I'm like, I'm not trying to really see Finn versus Priest again. I was really hoping they moved on from this and go on to something else. Now I do kind of wonder because now it's like this. This is two times now with Priest and Gunther. Two times that Gunther cannot beat Priest clean because Finn got involved. So I do believe it will be a third match at some point, and maybe Priest will end up beating Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. But yeah, right here, I'm sure Gunther's is probably gonna move on after this because, like I said, a lot of the story was that can he do it? Because Gunther's been damn near petrified almost wondering if he could even beat Priest. But like I said, with Finn out there, he ended up winning the match. But like I said, it wasn't a clean finish. So I don't know. Like I said, it is what it is for this. I just didn't need to see Finn again.
Um, I'm kind of indifferent from it. I don't know what to feel about being interfering again. I just feel like Finn is just being inserted in this again. I just like you said, I kind of went past it. I don't know what to say too much about it. Um, but the match was good. I wouldn't say okay. It was good. Um, I like the story of it. Priest was dominated at first until the shoulder injury, and then that's when Gunther was showing Gunther again. He kind of got his confidence back in the match. You could see it. You could see him having his confidence in the match. And Finn coming out again, it was like, okay, well, we're going with this again. And Gunther kicked Finn in the mouth to make sure everybody know, like, I ain't asked for his help at all. He just coming out. So I can see it's a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship soon. Real talk. Because it ain't just Damien versus Finn. You don't think Gunther is tired of Finn too? He getting tired of him too. He want to beat Priest on his own. So it's gonna be a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship soon. Probably at the Saturday night main event. You know, and, but yeah, I wasn't really I wasn't really down about this match. It was pretty decent, pretty good. You know,
Yeah, it was a good match. Like I said, it's not much I could really say from this. And you're right, it probably could end up being a triple threat match because I'm like, I don't really need to see Finn and Priest again. And I remember Shaggy telling me this yesterday. One thing with Triple H's booking is that, like, man, we got to keep teasing these long, either breakup storylines or just, a storyline that looks like it just never ends with two people. It's like, man, I thought we passed this at Bad Blood. Why are we going back to this again?
yeah.
So,
Uh,
yeah, like I said, like, why do we gotta keep look? Why do we need to see this again?
I'm kind of, like I said, indifferent about it. I know it probably lead it up to a match at Saturday night main event. That's why I wasn't really, too down about it.
Yeah, and they gave Priest an out, so it's not like he lost clean to Gunther out here. But yeah, it's gonna be another match, so expect that to happen. But moving on, we go into the main event of War Games. One thing I almost forgot to mention, and I know they did this earlier in the show with the women. What did you think about like the whole? I know so what the NFL style of doing introductions for everybody going into the War Games match.
It was funny. It was pretty funny. I liked the most of them. It had me rolling. Yeah.
I love you, Solo.
Yeah, I liked it. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, right there, like an NFL, like trying to go in, like, yeah, we're going into this match, this War Games. Like it was pretty funny though. Everybody just had their own like kind of intro going into this. I actually thought it was kind of hilarious. But yes, the main event of War Games though, the OG Bloodline and CM Punk versus the New Bloodline. So, like I said, 5-on-5. I did like how Punk was just kind of when he came out, that he's just trying to antagonize. Which you see the screen went black at one point. I don't know if somebody ended up put a middle finger up or somebody said something, but when Punk was just kind of antagonizing him, you see Jacob climbing the damn cage inside, almost trying to just break through it and stuff. Like, I thought that was pretty crazy. Um, but hell, Jey Uso was the last one to come out, given he was the first man in it. But yeah, he came through the crowd and everything. Just doing the whole yeet stuff. But it did start off with Jey Uso and Tama Tonga within this match. And I gotta say, this is I didn't like this War Games match itself being a big match. One thing you can kind of count throughout this one, everybody's in the match, and you're gonna get the weapons and stuff, kind of like what we saw earlier. Because like I said, we started off with Jay and Tama, and then the second one was Bronson Reed, which he threw a whole bunch of chairs into the ring after that, and Jay tried to keep throwing chairs at him, and Reed just kept swatting him out of the air and then like a fly until he ended up getting to Jay, because they ended up start taking out Jay. Then Jimmy was the next one out of the face team. He didn't really have any weapons, but yeah, the dude just did a damn fucking corkscrew moonsault damn into the ring, then going off the cage and stuff. Third one was Jacob Fatu, which we thought Tongalo was gonna get in there, but then they said no, 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 we let Jacob go. And you hear the fuck you solo chants after that. Jacob is just like a house of fire, just taking down everybody in this match. So you already knew it was gonna get real once he got in. And you talk about a lot of story within this match. That's one of the major things about this main event was the story, especially even before everybody got in the ring. When Sami Zayn was about to come out of the cage, CM Punk was gonna go out there, but Roman held him back, like, oh no, 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 no. Sammy gets to go because Roman does not trust Punk. Even before this match even happened, you could just see Roman looking at Punk while they're in the cage, like, do I really even trust this guy to come help? Because he's Punk is a Paul Heyman guy, so it's almost like, do I really need to trust this guy? And you just see them having a stare down several times. But yeah, Sami Zayn was the next one in after that. The Sami Uso chants go on. Tonga Loa was next in the cage. Fans started to chant CM Punk, which, once the fourth person came out, Punk was just kind of sitting there nodding to himself because Roman opened the door, was about to go, but Punk was like, all right, get the fuck out of my way. I'm going in. I'm sick of this. Like, I'm going in. I'm taking people out. And then, he goes towards the ring, and then, everybody's there waiting on him. And Punk just kind of sits there, wait a second, and then he gets a toolbox in. Just like Bad Blood with Drew McIntyre, he just goes in and used the toolbox as a weapon, taking everybody out, and even did a bulldog on the tongue, Jacob Fatu, who immediately shot back right up and then hit Punk with a Samoan drop in after that. The fifth person was soloed in. And then, the new bloodline is kind of are in control right now. And they're just beating the hell out of everybody in this match. Jacob's hitting then, moonsaults onto the Usos, double stack. Reed hitting the tsunami on Sami Zayn. And the heels are just looking strong right now. And they lock the cage then with a chain and a lock. Roman comes out then, and fans chant OTC, and he's trying to figure a way to get in the cage then. And how is he gonna do it? He ended up just climbing up the cage, and he's just fighting everybody off, taking them out, and then jumping on everybody in, just jumping on everybody to get inside the cage then. And when he's just taking everybody out with the punches and stuff, he goes up and helps all the other bloodline members up, helps Sammy and the Usos, but he just kind of looked like CM Punk, just looked at CM Punk and just walked off on him like, I ain't helping him up, which Punk kind of got pissed off until at least someone else helped him up then. And then Heyman comes out there then, and he says, this is war games. You need to work together. If you don't, we all lose. Because now it is time to start war games since everybody is in the ring. But Heyman is just trying to rally the troops together and telling, Roman and Punk, like, you have to work together if we're going to win this thing. And then, everybody brawls then after that. Everybody just going back and forth. It's just a brawl. Everybody's just damn near hitting finishers at that point. Even Punk trying to hit a GTS onto Jacob Fatu, but Reigns ended up accidentally spearing him then after that because he meant to try to hit Solo, but he ended up getting Samoan Spike then. And, one of the Usos make the save after that. Fatu ended up going, I think he went for another moonsault, but I think he ended up hurting his own knee then after that. So his right knee's a little bit messed up then after. Reigns ended up low blowing Jacob then. Spears Solo, and then Reed got him with a kick, and then they had the table out there, which Reed setting up for the tsunami on the Roman, and he climbs up all the way to the top of the cage and jumps, which, man, that's a crazy ass dive to be jumping that, especially with Bronson Reed, a person of his mass, just falling to the ground like that is insane. Because Punk ended up saving Roman Reigns then, and Reed just crashes through the table, so he's basically done after this match. And Reigns ended up helping Punk to his feet. Then, I guess now he trusts him, so they got to work together then if they're gonna win this match. And what was it right after that? Basically, Jacob come back trying to hit super kicks. Usos hit a 1D on the Jacob then after. And then they put up a table then. And Jimmy's just on the ropes then because everybody's just trying to clear away so Jimmy can hit the dive on the Jacob on the table, which he climbs all the way to the top of the cage then, and then hits the splash on the Jacob Fatu. So that's kind of like the last time you see him in this match then. So the faces are getting upper hand after that. And fans chanting this is awesome. And they end up pulling Reigns up because basically everybody else in the bloodline is down after that, and all the OG bloodline members are standing tall then, and everybody's up, and Solo's the last man standing, and then fans chanting "You fucked up" then after that, and it's Solo like "I'm still the tribal chief, I'm still the tribal chief," and then he gets double super kick, gets hit with a haluva kick, GTS, and then a spear, and the OG Bloodline won the War Games match. So yeah, the OG Bloodline and Punk win. Everybody shook hands after that. Even though, like I said, this was a really good match. I enjoyed this War Games match. I think the story really helped win this match. It was very story driven throughout all this. But you still had a lot of crazy big spots in this match too. The only thing I will say after this whole thing, everybody's shaking hands and hugging in, and and stuff, punking Roman actually shake hands and get along, but it was to the point where it was going on way too long with the post match celebration because everybody's either putting the fingers up and Punk's doing the GTS sign, and I'm actually just sitting there waiting for something to happen because then they leave the cage and then they go hug Paul Heyman then after that, and he says like, "You now owe me that favor. So when I come to ask, I want that favor basically." And he says, "It's yours. You have that favor." But at this point in time, I was kind of waiting for the show to go off the air because it was just going too long. Like all the walking, all the hugging, all just everybody posing. Even when you see Punk already going to the back, it's like he had to come back out there so they could do another pose again. Just with the pyro going off and the fingers and the GTS go to sleep sign. So it was. I felt like the post match stuff was going on too long. I was like, okay, end the show, go off the air. I get they got to get pictures and everything, but they could have did that off the air because I was thinking somebody was gonna come out. I thought somebody was about to get betrayed. I thought something was gonna happen in the post match, but it was just walking and hugging and the posing, and I'm like, somebody do something. If you like, I really thought like once they was all standing on the stage, I thought somebody was about to come out or somebody was gonna do something, but no, showing off the air off that. I just thought the whole post match stuff was unnecessary. I thought The Rock was gonna come out. I actually thought The Rock was gonna come out at the end. I really almost was gonna believe that, but no, it didn't happen. So that was basically the end of this whole match. But hell of a match though for War Games.
Oh yeah, man, it was a very good match. Um, I wanted to talk about what they were doing with on Friday with the sit down between Roman and CM Punk. It wasn't even too much about them two. It was more how they put Solo over, and during that whole thing, and Solo having the command of his whole team, and then it looked opposite on the opposite side. It looked like everybody wasn't really on the same page. It made it look good for that part, and it made it look like he would go, walk away with the win. To be perfectly honest, but yeah, I like the whole match. The story, so much story you could take out of this match. It's so good. They straight up gearing up for WrestleMania. Ain't no ifs ands or buts about it. They are gearing up for WrestleMania. You know, and I I I feel the opposite of how you felt about the post game. I mean the post. I said the post game, the post match celebration. I felt like they did it on purpose because everybody was speculating. So we go troll the hell out of y'all. You know, I kind of smiled what they did because it was like, man, everybody thought The Rock was gonna come back and all that stuff, but they kind of trolled us. They didn't need that. To be honest with you, they didn't need it.
I guess I just thought it was going on too long. I was like, somebody do something because maybe they, like I said, they probably just trolled for The Rock, I guess. But it was getting to a point where it was like, all right, is something gonna happen? Like, just go off the air at this point because I just thought they was just going on way too long with it. Like, it was just happen. I'm like, is somebody gonna do something? Is somebody gonna betray somebody? Like, where is this going? It's like, all right, we've all posed and hugged long enough. Like, end the show or just do something this get the crowd to, speculate something for next week. So that's what I thought. I just thought it was just going on too long at the post match thing. But like you said, this was very story driven, especially with Punk and Roman wondering can they trust each other to, fight the new bloodline.
Yeah, but I felt like it was very well thought out, and I felt the match was very, you know, very very good with the execution of the plan that they were trying to do. And I really was, like I said, I was feeling this match, and I ain't had I ain't had too much of a problem with this match, you know.
No, it was really good. It was a fire main event. It was great. Just it was better than last year's main event with the War Games match. Like I definitely enjoyed some really great stuff out there. I know we already talked about earlier when it comes to the weapons and all this stuff, and how that gets involved in the match. But I thought it was really good. Obviously, Bronson Reed jumping off the cage was crazy, and crashing and burning was insane. So that was pretty crazy. Yeah, I enjoyed the match though. It was great. Like it was a way better war. I thought it was a way better War Games match than last year. This was a fire main event.
Yeah, a very good main event, very good.
So I definitely I enjoyed most of the entire match because like I said, no, I'm reiterating again, but it was a lot of story driven within this match, and just Roman just seeing if he can even beat the whole new bloodline and all that, and just trying to trust CM Punk. And now CM Punk, whatever that favor will be in the future, Paul Heyman now owes him that favor. um some people thought Heyman was gonna betray Roman in this match. Shit, I thought Brock was gonna come back honestly at one point. Well, but then again, they already brought Punk in, so I already knew Brock wasn't gonna be involved after Punk had already came back like a week earlier. So, I think we already knew what was gonna happen there. But I don't know, there was a lot of questions going, like who could betray who. Because at one point I was thinking throughout this show, it's like, well, they didn't have one face team go over early in the night. Are they really gonna have two? But then I'm like, it's Roman, so it's like they got to do it. Now, do we move on? Does everybody move on after this, or does Roman still continue to fight Solo? Because listen, it's not like Roman and them have kind of been beating Solo and them for a pretty good while now. If we want to look at the win loss ratio to this Roman and Solo feud.
I don't know because they only had. You talking about match wise, or
Well,
you
I know
just
it's been a lot of tag team matches, so maybe it'll be a one on one in the next one.
well the story's still going on. To be perfectly honest, because I don't think you end the story off after this.
Yeah, it's still gonna continue. It's not over, basically. It's still gonna continue.
It's not over by a long shot.
Now it's gonna end up in some other crazy match one way or another because we've seen tag team matches or just variations of people fighting the new bloodline right now, and now that we've gone through a War Games match, obviously I think the OG bloodline is going to be sticking for a minute. So I think this is obviously still going to continue. I don't know, maybe it ends up in a Hell in a Cell next, or Elimination Chamber, or when the Royal Rumble. That's still going to happen. Hell, maybe something in Saturday night's main event. I don't know, but I'm sure this is not over by a long shot. Punk, well, we'll see what that favor is in the future with him and Heyman.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I really want to see. Now, Punk is I'll say, Punk is a wild card in this one because you don't know what direction he going. You know, they did mention Drew name for the first time in a long time earlier tonight. I mean, not earlier. I watched it earlier. That's what happened. But last night they mentioned Drew name, so he should be coming back soon. And I think Punk should be going like towards Gunther now. To be honest with you, after Gunther get done with that triple threat match that I was talking about, I think after that, starting January, Punk should be going towards Gunther.
For the world title.
Starting next month, he should be going towards Gunther.
True, but I think one thing we gotta remember too, like if he does go against Gunther, I do feel like Seth is gonna get involved one way or another. and damn near screwing Punk out of the title.
If that's the case, then I'm cool with that. But he at least have him going towards it, or have him having a have him have a match with Gunther, probably at the Rumble, you know. But I think he should be going towards you. Yeah, Seth is one of. We haven't seen a Seth match yet, so we gotta see.
And honestly, I'll say this too. I didn't even think Punk was gonna be back right now. I didn't think Punk was even really gonna be back until the Royal Rumble time. I didn't even think Punk was gonna be back right now. But like,
Me either.
yeah, I thought he was gonna be gone for a minute after the whole match at Bad Blood, how they was selling the injuries and whatnot, and how banged up he was in that Hell in a Cell match. But I'm like, well, shit, he's back in another cage match then. Like, you came back last year at Survivor Series at the end of War Games. Now you get to be in War Games this year. So
Yeah,
yeah, crazy turn of events.
yeah, that is true.
So yeah, you have to be in War Games. But no, overall though, I enjoyed the pay per view. I think it was really good. Like I said, I still think the best match out tonight was the triple threat match. I still enjoyed the main event. With the War Games match itself. With the whole Bloodline Punk thing. That was great. Um, the Intercontinental, not the Intercontinental, the U.S. title match. I thought it was good. Like I said, I knew who was gonna win. So we'll see where it goes. I just think, like I said, they're just trying to get this new gimmick with Nakamura over. So we'll see what happens with that. I did like the world title match, even though I was just kind of, I was up and like I said, I'm up and down with that match. But like you said, it's probably gonna lead to a triple threat with Finn and all them. Like I said, it was a good match. I just didn't need to see the Finn stuff again. The women's match, like you said, I'm kind of with you on that Reign. That was probably maybe the worst one out of the night. I think just because of the whole botch thing, I'm sure people are gonna question, where a lot of this is gonna lead to next. Because like you said, Ripley's obviously gonna go back after Liv. Remember, Io is the number one contender against Liv, so we gotta remember that too. And I'm sure Bianca will probably go back after the title against Nia, because who else do they really have Nia to go against right now? Anybody who is Nia not beaten? Let me just say that. That's the question I should be saying. Who is she not beaten? Because like other than Bianca, who else about to face Nia for the title? Other than Tiffany possibly cashing in.
Yeah, I should think Jack's reign is just boring. I had to talk to my cousin yesterday about he's like, man, he going off of pure size. Like, oh man, Bianca, you said about Bianca should win against Nia, man. I thought you said wrestling was all about presentation. And I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing. But the people who watch wrestling know that she not on the side level of Bianca. So I would dare not to put her over Bianca. Bianca better win that match. And I have to explain. And like to be honest with you, nobody really feeling the title reign. It's just like I'm not feeling the title reign. Why do you think she would pay the back seat road to Liv Morgan? And it was a reason. Like if you didn't notice on Friday, who was the only one who was talking throughout the whole promo for the bad guy side?
Liv.
Liv. Nobody else talked. And it was another world champion right there on her side. And she didn't say a word. It was a reason for that. And so, yeah, I can't wait to be honest, right? I can't wait for this title reign to be ended already, to be honest. Wait, I'm not feeling it. Send it back to the back of the line. I don't even care.
Yeah, like I said, I tried to give it a chance, but it's just like it's whatever at this point. Like I'm just kind of waiting on Bianca to be. I was like, yeah, Bianca need to beat her for the title. Like if Bianca's about to be in a singles competitor again now since Jade is out of commission, I'm like, good, just get the title off Jax, because I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing. I'm just tired of seeing it. Like I'm tired of it. Like most of the whole storyline has just been her and Tiffany, and if Tiffany's even gonna cash in on her and that, and then Candice LeRae is somehow part of this whole squad thing or whatever reason. I have no idea, but yeah, I'm sick of this title right now. It's got to end soon.
Yeah, definitely most.
Either that or they setting up for Charlotte to win whenever she comes back.
I don't know, but yeah, that title reign needs to end.
True. But yeah, what you think about like for your overall part? What you liked and what you didn't like about this whole show.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like was the first match. Everything else after the first match was good. I'm cool with that. The overall, it was a good show. Not bad at all. I enjoyed myself.
Oh yeah, like I enjoyed it. It was good. Like I said, other than what I said about a few other matches, like mostly enjoyed the overall pay per view itself. And like I said, you had a fire main event, and it was a lot of crazy stuff in there, and it was good. So I definitely enjoyed it. So good show. But like you said, when it comes to war games, I do want to see the 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series tag matches come back into play because I feel like we just know how these war games matches are gonna work out all the time, and just either throwing the weapons in or you got to wait for everybody to get in the ring for the match to start. I know people are gonna go on like, well, nobody bleeds in this match. They at least need a little bit of blood or something like that. So it's a lot when it comes to say about these war games matches because I always feel like the difference between this one and last year's. I feel like last year was just more about shock value, given Randy Orton came back and then Punk coming out at the end. It's just this time was just more about all the bloodline and the story and Punk being the wild card because he's a Paul Heyman guy and all that, and working with another Paul Heyman guy now. So can they even trust each other? So it's a difference looking at last year's main event and this year's main event for War Games. But I would like to see the Survivor Series tag matches come back into play.
Yeah, yeah, I would too.
Uh,
Please.
s- Same. But yeah, overall, Nat, yeah, good show. Definitely enjoyed Survivor Series. So yeah. But yeah, other than that, whatever the next time we come back on here for whatever show is next, whichever pay per view, I'm not even really sure what it be WWE or AEW or TNA. We'll find out and see what happens. Whatever the next show will be. But other than that, we're out of here. See y'all then. Peace, comment, subscribe. Follow on Twitter at Hood and Night 890. Got anything to plug before we get up out of here?
No, just follow me on Twitter, X, straight face 40, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and we out of here. Peace.